Okay, I'm going to try to piece together a fairly decent video of how to replace or remove, whichever way you go, your front wheel. And then the next one will be the rear wheel, and then the rest will be putting my plastics back on. So here we go. We're going to go from reverse order if you want to install. I'm going to go in order if you want to put it back. So anyway, right there you see my brake caliper hanging down, and behind that is the speed sensor. The fork is empty. Okay, so I come over here, I got brand new tires, and they're mounted. Now here on this side, opposite your rotor, is your the side where your nut and your washer goes. And you also have this spacer, and you see the difference. It's tapered. Well, the smaller side goes in that bearing area, just like that. Okay, there's a gap, no problem, don't worry about it. This here will go against your down tubes. Your axle will come through, out the other side of your down tube, and you put your washer and nut on. Okay. Take that off. Okay. Oh. This side, in here, I don't know if you can, right here is a dimple, and over here is a dimple on this outside ring. Okay, your speed sensor will go in this, and it has dimples. I think 4. Make sure that you get them between these two dimples. So I could say, like, okay, this is 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I think your spacer, your speed sensor, when you're putting it in, yeah, I think it has 4. But anyway, you can see that you got plenty of room to get them in. Don't put them on these dimples or you'll break something, and then it tells your motor that something's crazy, and then it goes stupid with the computer, and I don't know how much it's going to cost you to fix it. So that's the joy of electronics. So anyway, I got my brand new tires on, and I'm going to put this wheel on. So let's see how it goes. Well, now I'm down here where I can show you the speed sensor. It's hanging here. So you see those 2 big dimples? Okay, they'll go between those other dimples I was showing you in there. Okay. And as this turns, that sends the signal to your speedometer, odometer, whatever else. Now, right there, on the back side, is that notch. Okay? That goes over this, I don't know, finger. Okay. Like that. So, you gotta get that there. Probably put it in your wheel first. Then bring it around and shove the axle through here and get it through this side. Then you can come on over to this side where my dimple is falling out for my spacer, and do that. So with your nut and your washer on the outside. So it's awkward, and I'm old, I'm 74, but I think I can get it. I'll check back with you in a minute. Oh, okay, well, I finally got the wheel on. Just a matter of getting it in the right place at the right time. Anyway, this stuff here goes to your brake. This here holds your not your caliper, but the brake assembly in place so it doesn't rotate. This here goes on the inside of your fork, and your speed sensor cable goes in this wire loom here so it doesn't rub up against your wheel and destroy it. So this goes on the outside. It's probably like that, you know. And that goes on the inside. And then these two bolts hold that brake assembly on, and they're 12 millimeter, okay? So if you've been doing any mechanicing, I know you got half a dozen of these and half a dozen of 10s because they just seem to wander off. You always keep a spare. Matter of fact, Harbor Freight sells them in 4-packs. So that tells you how infamous they are. So let me get this back together. Okay, well, I got it all done, and the wheel's back on. It turns, and the bushing's in there. Nut, washer's out there. Brand new rubber. Brakes on. Cables are all run the right direction. These bolts here, right there, that tighten the caliper, I guess, down. Not the disc, but to tighten the caliper back on. Those are torqued to 25 pounds, and your axle nut is torqued to 50 pounds. So I got that. So, remember this piece? I have no idea where that goes. It came out. It's not in the blueprints, the maintenance manual, nothing. And there's no place to. You can see it's supposed to bolt somewhere. I have no idea where this goes. So I'm going to put that away, and someday I might see a spot for it. But anyway, it's real dickens when you go to put the wheel back on. As you can see, you don't have any extra clearance, as usual, if you're familiar with these front wheel changes. So the best thing to do is to get your axle started in here, get your speed sensor where it's supposed to be, all set up, have your wheel in there, move the axle through into the wheel. Then come over here and put your bushing in and fish that axle through while you're holding this bushing. You got to fiddle with it, and I have my wife out here messing with the jack a little bit up and down. Finally got it to go right in there. It's just a matter of getting it in the exact right position. But anyway, now that's all back on. So if I was taking it off, here's what I would do. First, I would take the axle off. Just undo that. That's all you got to do. Pull the axle out this way. Just take it out. Then, pull the wheel out. Not a problem. Just keep slapping it a little bit. It'll fall down. Then, I would take the caliper off so that when you go to put the wheel back on, It's easier that way. But, you know, you might choose to do it. Just leave it on, but I won't. I didn't. Now, when I put it back on, like I say, I would put the axle in a little bit. I would have this speed sensor there in the right position with the dimples and everything. Have the wheel on. The axle goes into the wheel just enough so you can still mess with it, because that bushing kind of falls out. So anyway, you get that bushing in there and you can push that axle through, and as soon as it can get into the inside of that bushing and keep it in there, then you can wiggle the wheel around without losing the bushing and then push that axle through it and out the other side. You put your washer on, your nut, you torque it down to 50 pounds. You come back over here and you put your caliper back on and you torque it down to 25 pounds. There you go. You just got to be patient. It's relatively easy. So I hope this helps somebody. I know I don't make good videos, but if somebody sees this and they think they can do better, please do it. Our community needs a lot of these things. So anyway, they're pretty rare on a scooter, and you know, I like people to be able to work on their own. So alrighty, well, have a good day.